Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
All right, you heard the intro. It is time to get sleazy. This is episode 130 of the Sleazy Podcast. I'm your host, Sleazy, and tonight I am joined by Mr. PBS.
Howdy.
Robzilla.
What's up?
And from the Chicagoland area, we've got Hot Sauce.
I'm here knocking shit all over the floor.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
Are we gonna let the cat out of the bag early? I think everybody knows that Elon is trying to buy Twitter.
Twitter, yes.
But we're throwing our bid in the ring. He can buy us. We'll sell out for $1 billion. That's 1/40th of what Twitter is.
I have no problem being a whore.
And he can have it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
he's not getting Twitter. They just implemented a poison pill policy by their board of directors. He's fucked.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, he ain't getting Twitter.
He's trying to buy him outright though.
No, he's got there's a poison pill thing in there though. Like he can't do it.
Oh yeah, okay. I haven't heard that one yet.
It's I just saw it. It's blocking him from being able to buy it. Like they can't own. Nobody can own more than like 15% of the stock, so he can't buy it.
I think that was because he wanted to buy into Twitter, and he wanted to buy like 40% or whatever. And they said between that and some background check or something that he wouldn't do it, but he said he would outright buy it for like 40 some billion or whatever. So I think that was, I thought that was something else.
Can you imagine, like,
because I did see that about
it must take
so
some
much
willpower
percentage
to be like, yeah, I don't need that fucking $43 billion.
You just don't care. Yeah.
Man, that just to be able to hear that.
He said in cash too, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane.
And that guy doesn't bluff.
It just shows you what kind of world we live in when somebody wants to eliminate. Well, obviously the billionaires want to eliminate people that challenge them.
Mm-hmm.
So, no more getting on Twitter and speaking your mind. If Elon, owns that, if you've got an issue with Elon, I'm sure he would silence you on that platform anyways.
Yeah.
But man, that's just fucking crazy, dude. $43 billion. Can you imagine I'll
pay you in cash. I don't need it.
I wonder, I mean, obviously the people that are on the board that, made that policy have a deep, there's some care that they feel in their product, and they don't want a hostile takeover. But geez, somebody on that board had to have been like, well, come on, let's fucking sell it.
I'm sure.
Somebody has to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, still, someone has to say it. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about
but
this.
when you're rich, you develop that mentality like, well, I don't have enough money.
Right.
I need more money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what most of them behave anyways. How many yachts can you have?
Yeah, fuck ever.
How many mega yachts can you have?
Yeah.
Right.
How many yachts can you have behind your mega yacht? Because your mega yacht can't have doesn't have a helipad.
Didn't they had to do like a construction on a bridge because the mega yacht was too big or something like that?
I don't think they've done that yet.
Well,
there was an article about it.
Yeah, that was Jeff Bezos was going to pay to have the bridge taken apart.
Bezos.
Some like 100-year-old bridge.
Yeah,
and like everybody was pissed about it. They were like, "Fuck you, go sell somewhere else."
Yeah.
But all right, so aside from Twitter, I think we got a good show lined up for everybody tonight. We're fresh off the Sleazies, so we got to talk about stuff that actually happened before the Sleazies. So it may be, a little old, but then we've got new stuff mixed in here too that just popped up this week. But to start the show off, man, the continuing trend of 2022 was saying goodbye to these celebrities.
They're just dropping like flies.
I know. Gilbert Godfrey passed away.
Gilbert Godfrey
at 67 years old.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a 67-year-old guy. He just looks older, but
he looks the same.
Yeah, he's always looked the same. Yeah, it doesn't really like he's aged.
When you're a smaller person, you tend to age, I think, a little better in general.
Yeah.
Easier on your body.
What's Rob's excuse then?
Nothing.
Rob's kind of looked the same since high school though. Like Rob was bald. Rob was bald in like sophomore year.
It was like 16. It was getting thin.
Now he was suffering from male pattern baldness when he was a sophomore.
Yeah.
Don't let him fool you. Yeah. Yeah, you'd walk up every morning and it'd look like Rob would lose a little bit more hair, and you'd be like, well, it's okay. It's okay.
It is what it is. Can't do nothing about it.
Just the happiest kid ever.
Yep.
Getting off the bus with his, McDonald's breakfast. It's
No,
okay.
he was one of those kids
What do you mean one of those?
bringing the McDonald's to school like he was flexing on everybody.
Oh well, we had a McDonald's right down the road from
Yeah.
our high school, so it was just like the school smelled like McDonald's sometimes.
Yeah.
It was
It was so funny because my mother at the time, well, not at the time, my mother, she didn't realize she signed me to have a
lunch card.
lunch card. Yeah. And she's like, "Where'd you go?" I said, "I went to McDonald's." "When the fuck did you go?" I said, "During school at lunchtime." "You can't go there. You need a lunch card." I'm like, "You signed for me one." She's like, "Bullshit." I said, "Yeah." She's like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well."
I had a lunch card until I got caught skipping school.
Oh,
Then they when I walked in to check into school, they, my dad, everybody was there waiting, and of course I got in big trouble that was freshman year,
mm-hmm.
and they took my lunch card away from me and they cut it up right in front of me.
And they spit it in your face too.
I was just like, no. And
you just lost your privileges.
I was so devastated because that was like your freedom, walk
Yeah.
down the street and go to McDonald's for lunch. I still fucking went. I didn't care.
Was there permission to leave for lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had like an hour for lunch, so you could leave,
Come back.
and as long as you were back, you were cool. But a lot of times I didn't come back. I just got on the fucking Coda bus and went to City Center or something. It didn't.
But it's so funny because a lot of times, like, because even the police would know they were being truant, and they would just be waiting at McDonald's, and people would just fucking scatter and like.
I remember when they'd have the paddy wagon.
Yeah.
At McDonald's, everybody would be like, "Scram! The cops are there right now."
I believe a buddy of ours, he's like jumping fences and shit, trying to get away. I was like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck, man?"
But yeah, Gilbert Gottfried is no longer with us. I guess he had been sick for a long time. He had
He had a chronic illness.
it was a genetic
Yeah, it
disorder.
says the byline is from recurrent ventricular tachycardia due to myotonic dystrophy type 2.
I was gonna let him say that because I was gonna fuck it all up.
Well, he's our resident nurse here.
Heart
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah,
He's our resident nurse here that doesn't want to be a nurse.
is that what it is? Heart problems?
Yeah.
Heart disease? Okay,
Mhm.
well, I was curious. I never even heard of that.
Are you ever going to put that nursing degree to work?
Probably not.
The fuck, man?
You just going to rot away in the grocery store?
It's rot away somewhere.
Did you hear the content in his voice?
Hoping for automation to put me out of my misery someday.
Aren't we all, dude? I really hope automation takes over and just kills all of our jobs, and the government has to pay us.
Right.
Mhm.
What's a job?
He does not mean that rhetorically or philosophically.
You're living the life over there, buddy.
Just taking day trips to go fucking eat food, spending 13 hours in my car.
That
You
big ass breaded pork sandwich you had the other day.
Yes,
Gee.
baby.
Was
How
there
was that?
was there no point for the pun to be on there at that point?
I know. I saw like a little bun on there. I was
It's
like,
like,
what the
like
fuck?
size of a quarter on there.
Yeah, that's the famous BPT, breaded pork tenderloin.
So was it good?
It actually was pretty good. Yeah,
All right. All
it was quite tasty
How many hours did you drive for that?
4? 1 to 4?
for there, but we had to. I drove a lot more because I had to go pick up my buddy that lives in Chicago on the south
Okay.
side. So
Oh,
I drove
man.
to get him. That's like an hour.
Did you see the house from what's the Showtime show with William H. Macy?
Shameless.
Oh, the shameless.
Yeah, the Shameless house on the south side of Chicago.
Where's it at?
I
It
don't
could be anywhere.
I think you can drive up to it and look at it though.
I mean, really, how big is the south side of Chicago?
Yeah.
Did you see that picture of there was a picture of Gilbert Godfrey, Louis Anderson, and Bob Saget
Oh wow.
that was making the rounds on social media. It's like all three of them gone
Wow,
within
that's
a
crazy.
couple months or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
literally month to month to month. I mean, it's like every month it seems like we're announcing somebody has died.
Mhm.
It's crazy, man. But it's a great career, great stand-up comedian. A lot of people know him from Aladdin.
Mhm.
What was he? The bird?
Iago,
Yeah.
Parrot.
Yeah, the parrot.
I always think of him because he's in that one scene in Beverly Hills Cop 2 where they got to go they're trying to get on his computer or whatever because he's a lawyer or he works for
Right.
the city or something. I remember for that and Problem Child.
Problem
Yeah,
Child. as
Problem
well.
Like, it's the guy
Child
running the
was
orphanage
another
trying to
one.
get rid of
Yeah.
the kid.
I would say Aladdin and Problem Child.
It's
as
just
well,
that
mainly.
voice, man.
Yeah. And then of course the insurance commercials as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I
mhm.
think he got kicked off of those, didn't he? 'Cause
Yeah.
he said something or whatever that they didn't quite like.
God bless Gilbert Godfrey. 67 years old.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, buddy. So what was it? The weekend before we did the Sleazies.
Yeah.
We took a trip down to Cincinnati for HorrorHound Weekend, not Horror Weekend, HorrorHound Weekend.
Now, wasn't this originally supposed to be just a day trip, or did you guys plan on going multiple times?
We had actually planned on just going on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I was like thinking about past HorrorHound conventions, and I was like, Rob, we got to go on Friday. We couldn't go Saturday either.
There's no, it was sold
Or
out.
I'd have just bought a weekend pass for the both of us.
Might as well at that point.
But they were sold out of weekend passes, and they only had Friday open and Sunday open, and they were like, hurry up and buy them. They're going to sell out.
Yeah, those weekends and Saturdays tend to go.
They oversold that show like a motherfucker. They weren't selling out of shit. And so I'm like, all right, Rob, we were both on vacation that week. I'm like, we got to go. We're not going to get everybody's autographs if we don't go 2 days.
Yeah.
Guess how many people we got from Scream's autographs?
There was supposed to be 4 of them there, right?
Yeah.
There was Nev Campbell, Jamie Kennedy,
Matthew Lillard,
and Skeet Ulrich.
So who do we get?
Guess how many we got out of them? Autographs.
Well, I know you got 1 for sure.
We got 1.
We got 1.
The first night we went.
Yep.
We got Jamie Kennedy's. These motherfuckers. So we leave early Friday. And I'm like, we're going to fucking get there. We're going to get there a little bit early. Maybe grab something to eat real quick before we go in. And
that's like the big thing for this weekend was the Scream reunion.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Because I was
like, we're going to go straight to fucking Nev's line. We're going to knock her out Friday. And we were looking at photo ops. We were like, well, let's just get a photo op too, just to be safe. And we did the photo op with Nev and the Killers. And
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, back in 97.
Haven't seen Scream, fuck off,
Sorry,
loser.
But so we pull up. There is a fucking line like you wouldn't believe.
Insane.
Like their parking lot's pretty deep. It's going back to the end of the parking lot and curving around up and down through the fucking back of the
it's almost going into
lot.
the street at that
and then
point.
the end of it's at the street, going back across the street into the other parking lot.
Yeah, Friday's usually the pretty chill day.
Chill day.
Most of these conventions.
Friday, Sunday, chill day. Saturdays, nuts day.
No, that did not exist.
It was busier, I thought, on Friday.
It was
than it was probably Sunday.
Yeah,
and so we waited probably 20 minutes to get in. I mean, the line went quick.
It was about half hour, but I mean, they moved it pretty quick.
But the fact of the matter is, they oversold this fucking convention like a motherfucker. They wanted to put as many bodies as they could in there.
Where was it held at?
Sharonville Convention Center.
It's where it's been, but
it's been for years. Yeah. They won't not move on from this building for whatever reason. I had heard that there was a contract for so many years there or something like that.
I looked, I think it popped up on my Facebook because the first one we went to was like in 2013.
Years ago.
It's been almost 10 years.
Yeah. And it's just overgrown.
And even then, that maybe that first year was okay. But like that second year we went back, it was the same problem.
Yeah. And trust me, they haven't solved any problems other than getting people in through the door.
Right.
And pissing people off.
Off. But so we go in and I want to say it's 6:15 by the time we get in.
Yeah.
Probably open.
Or was it 5:15?
It was about 5:15.
Whatever time the doors open, we were there a half hour early.
Yeah. Those I think it usually opens like at 5:30.
And we got in at like 5:15.
And the VIPs of course went in first as well.
So we go in, we run straight to fucking Nev's line. And you know how they have them the lines to go, zigzag like that. We go in and the one HorrorHound volunteer guy, he's like, dude, I'm sorry. We got to cap Nev because they've got photo ops in an hour.
Right.
And I'm like,
we just walked in here.
Yeah, I just walked in.
The doors just opened.
I literally just walked in. So we look over. You can't even tell where the end of Skeet and Matthew Lillard's line.
Yeah.
It's blurred together. Yeah.
There's probably about 2 lines deep in Jamie Kennedy. I look at Rob. I'm like, we're getting fucking Jamie Kennedy.
I mean, like it was like the shortest one. I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's go get Jamie.
And we did take a pit stop into we went right into the merch room first.
Right.
And we grabbed some posters, some prints for them to sign. We got our guy there that does the prints every show.
Yeah.
And so we go in and we do that. But me and Jamie Kennedy was fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. Like
For sure he was stoned.
He was
Yeah,
looking a little rough
yeah,
in that picture, but
dude,
it looked like he was having a
yeah.
good time.
he had a super hot chick with him.
Yeah.
It was his
Handler,
handler.
yeah.
Must
She's
have-
like,
it
oh, she's like,
had
oh,
to
what
have-
would you like? I
It
was
had
like,
to have been
"Yeah,
his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that couldn't be your girlfriend. Traveling with that hot of a chick.
Man.
But he was super cool. And a lot of the people had specials where you do like $40 for the autograph or an extra 20 for the autograph in the
Table photo.
Yeah.
table photo.
Photo
So
op. Yeah, well, selfie.
we didn't get a photo op with him. There was a photo op with all of them,
Mm.
but
It
they
was
were
sold
sold
out.
out on the,
Yeah.
so we were like, we'll just get him at the table. And he was super cool. Like he did some weird shit where like he would grab your phone and he would kind of be like, all right, come on, let's go. And he's like making all these weird faces and then
Yeah.
he's like tapping the picture button. But I turned one into a gif of him making faces and
Yeah.
stuff. But super cool dude. He was really cool and relatable to us.
Yeah.
He took his time and he
Did he call
talked
Rob
to
a
you.
piece of shit?
He did not call Rob a piece of shit.
Well, then he couldn't have been that relatable then.
Yeah. Well, if he would have known me, he would have called me that.
I think he was like trying to give Rob the autograph for free because he felt so bad for him.
He thought
Did
he
he short arm Rob when he goes to hand the item back to Rob? He short arms him so
He was
Rob
like,
can't grab
"Who
it.
brought this dumpster baby doll in here?"
thought it was one of those handicapped people who get moved up to the front of the line.
Yeah. Are you from the Make-A-Wish
Get a little
Foundation?
extra attention.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hold on, little guy. Let me go to the merch room real quick for you."
Thanks, Jamie.
No, he was super cool though. But so we go over, we get out of his line, and we're just like looking around.
It's
we're
just like
like,
you can't get in.
You couldn't fucking, and they're like yelling at you in the autograph room. They're like, "You can't get Scream autographs. So if you're not getting anybody else's, go to the bathroom. Go do something else. Just
Yeah.
get out of here."
Where the fuck am I supposed to go?
These are people running a professional convention yelling at you like
Did they
this.
have them in the big room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all against the back wall. And then to the next to them was John Moxley and Ruby Soho.
This cocksucker, man.
So we were like, let's go meet John Moxley since we can't fucking meet anybody else.
Well, we couldn't, like I said, that you couldn't see anybody. And we look over, and of course, he's from Cincinnati, and there's two other people in line. Two people. I was like, well, fuck it. I just went over.
Yeah,
And,
he wasn't very relatable. though.
no.
And come to find out, like, I don't think he's like being an asshole. I just don't think he's a people person.
Yeah.
And I talked to a couple people once I posted the photo online. They were like, yeah, he's just a different type of guy. Like, he's not being a dick. He's just,
Yeah.
he's
just
quiet.
He's like, hey, what's up, man?
But
I mean,
it was just like, we both did the autograph and photo table thing. And he was like, hey, thanks a lot, brother. You know,
Yeah.
it was just like, I was like,
yeah.
oh, cool.
Well, he just got out of rehab too,
Yeah.
so I don't think
he was
he's
chewing
adjusting.
some
Yeah.
you could see he was chewing Nicorette gum or something, like a motherfucker.
Well, you always got to try to respect
Yeah.
how they are. Some
Yeah.
are just
Yeah.
naturally more outgoing, some aren't. You just kind of
Yeah.
got to read it.
But anyways, so we go down to do our photo op after this. It's fucking crazy by the photo op because people are trying to get in. They tell you to get there a half hour early.
Right.
Line up. We go there. We're trying to line up. You don't know where to line up. The guys are not being helpful.
Yeah.
They're not starting to line people up inside.
Well, they tell you to line up, and they said, well, you can't stay down here, so go somewhere else.
Yeah.
After they just tell you to line up.
So they're yelling at people. And my God, we witnessed
The biggest fucking rant that
the
was amazing.
fury of a nerd like you will not
Yeah.
believe. This kid, what was he in?
He was cosplaying as a Naruto character. He had like the Okage like wardrobe or something. So
He's got his Nintendo Switch in his hand. He's got the like he can barely grow facial hair beard going on.
It's the trailer
came
trash.
prepared to be in line.
yeah.
Well, he wasn't even in line. He's just like,
I'm waiting for my sister. What the fuck,
he's like,
man?
he's like, I'm waiting on my sister and my fucking mom. And he goes, where the fuck am I supposed to wait for them at?
Am I supposed to stay on your fucking stupid fucking bald head? I
And
mean, he's going crazy.
He's got this Nintendo Switch in his hand like this. He's like playing a game while he's yelling. And he's like, fuck that fat bald motherfucker down there. He goes, how about I stand on your fat bald fucking head, bitch?
He's going for like 10 minutes. I couldn't stop laughing.
And we're up against the wall dying. He's like, fuck you. And every time the guy like goes to make an announcement, he's like, you guys need to get out of here. Go to another part of the convention. Go to the merch room. He's like, fuck you. I'm waiting on my mom.
I ain't going no fucking where.
He's like, I've moved 3 times for you. You can fucking move me if you want. And then he's like, the guy's like, you need to leave. This is a fire hazard. He goes, newsflash, asshole, there's more people than there is a fire. If there's a fire here, we'll put it out with the fire extinguisher right there.
Oh my God.
He was fucking going on. He was about to beat this dude's ass if he came down the hallway. And this dude was not coming down to talk to him. He was just yelling at a distance. But every time he made the announcement, the dude was like, fuck you, you fat, bald motherfucker.
But there's some fucking Nintendo
And
Switch
he's
waving
just
around.
he's a short, fat dude.
Sounds like you should have got his autograph.
He
I
was
should have got a
awesome,
selfie
dude.
with him, actually.
I didn't even think, but I should have recorded him. You know, like it was that funny, dude. Like,
Oh, man.
I mean, I had to turn around and look at the wall because I was laughing so hard.
I didn't turn away. I was laughing my ass off straight at him.
But I think he knew that he was getting a rise out of people, so he kept doing it.
Yeah.
But God bless that kid, man. He was
Yeah.
great.
And people were like, what line is this? He's like, oh, we don't even fucking know.
He was like, go ask that fat, bald motherfucker.
He'll just tell you to walk around and shit.
He goes, dude, it's not a fucking fire hazard for people to stand up against the wall, assholes. But I mean,
The guy's our hero, man.
the robe that he had on and everything, I was just like,
You're
couldn't
like,
help but
it's
laugh.
even better because he's dressed up as a fucking ninja, basically.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
on it though. He was insulting that dude big time. Like, I bet that dude still thinks about him insulting him. If he heard it, he had to have heard him too, because I mean, he was shouting like a mofo.
PTSD now.
Yeah.
But anyways, we just happened to be in the right line up against the wall. I was like,
yeah, we came down the right time.
I told Rob, I was like, I'm not moving. I'm standing here because they're going to line people up here.
Yeah.
And then they shuffled us in. So we were like, what, second in line or
Second or
something?
third, yeah.
Well, not second in line. We were in the second line.
Second or third row, yeah.
But it went quick like a motherfucker. And like, you don't turn your ticket in early. You turn your ticket in when you get to this other part.
You don't even turn it in. You just have it on your phone and they just scan it.
They scan it and then they give you a ticket to go through the window. And so you lay your stuff down on this table and we go in and so, you know, the lady scans you, you go wait in line. I think I was first and you were behind
Yeah,
me.
you're first.
And I just bought a Scream shirt.
Right. A white Scream
It
shirt
was
with
all
Ghostface on it.
white and it looked like a ghost face, you know, kind of like the Kool-Aid Man shirt, but
Right,
ghost face. So I walk in, I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? And they were so cool. They all walked over to me, and Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich dapped me up, and Nev tugged on my shirt because I was talking to them. And I turned around, she goes, that is a cool fucking shirt. And I was just, you know, 12-year-old me would have been like, oh,
Nev.
thanks, Nev. Nev, you're my favorite.
I love you, Nev.
Yeah, but I thought that was cool. She, you know, she tugged on me and told me how cool my shirt was. But literally, as soon as she did that, like the lady that was taking the photos sounded like the lady from Austin Powers. She's like, all right, next. And
Get the laser beam.
you turned around, and like as soon as I turned around, it was like boom, flash.
Okay, get the fuck out.
Next. And then I turned around and I see Rob walking in like, but did you ever get the photo of our buddy Eric?
Yeah, I thought I sent it to you.
Oh, I don't.
This motherfucker, man, he is.
Yeah, those photo ops, you know, like you said, they're kind of assembly lines. Like, put your stuff down,
Yep.
They
get
really,
in there,
Next,
Yeah.
picture,
next,
get out.
When we're in line too, Matthew Lillard came out right in front of us, had a beer, just looking around.
Oh yeah, he kept getting the crowd all riled up. Let's see here.
One of my favorite photo ops was always when Hot Sauce got his picture with David Tennant,
Yeah,
and him and Sharon switched sides because they got two photos and they didn't want it to look the same.
Yeah.
Even
That
Tennant
too.
was like, oh no, they got two photos. Let them, you know.
That was my
Yeah.
highlight too, because everybody wore Doctor Who, and I wore a Kilgrave t-shirt.
Yeah.
He's like, and I was the only one that wore anything remotely different. He's like, I like that shirt. I was like,
So-
fuck yeah, David.
this is our buddy Easy. He went on Sunday with us, and I've never seen anybody look so uncomfortable.
And he hasn't been to many events for like.
But
for
look
this,
at him.
but-
He looks so uncomfortable right there.
It almost looks like he's the celebrity who did
Right. Like he didn't want to do it, but it was great. They built the set though,
the house.
and then they had like the Scream guy in the background. You know, obviously he was switching sides, but boy, Nev looks great. Matthew Lillard was awesome. Skeet, man, they were all super cool.
Yeah.
They were all super cool, even though how shitty the HorrorHound convention was ran.
He always throws it in there like, we love everybody there, but that convention fucking sucks. So that's true though.
It does.
It's
fucking
horrible.
suck, dude.
And
Is that
plus,
the only place they
it's-
have it?
That's the
Mhm.
they do another one in like
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indianapolis, but I hear
Okay.
that convention's even smaller.
Yeah, I haven't
And
been to that
they
one.
load just as many people into that one.
Well, we were in the dining area, and we had some people talking to us, and they had one girl was there with her daughter, and she said she was from Indianapolis. She said that it's smaller, but it's not nearly as horrible as this
No.
there. So
It was bad, man. It was
Well,
terrible.
that's Sharonville. I mean, it's just not set up for that. There's
No.
like, there's a lot of stairs and like little rooms off to the side,
it's like a little
And-
fucking maze.
and even their big rooms not really that big.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But they got to move on. They've outgrown that building. They're a bigger convention. I mean, people are coming from all over to come to this.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. But
They're having another one there in September too.
are they
That's
really?
well, that's gonna be like the
That's right,
thing-
'cause
the
they're-
thing.
They're
Because this was the first one they did in 2 years due to Rona, and then I think they just at the time didn't know if they could do Indianapolis or whatever, so they're doing 2 in a row back to back in Cincinnati.
Because I think when they
And they've even
announced
talked about coming back to Columbus again, but
because when that not happened, but when they announced it, because they had Keith David, and I wanted to meet Keith David.
so there's
then
me with
they
the
canceled it. So.
well, that's I kind of want to go in
It's on Max,
September because they're supposed to have some
Well, that's what their goal is.
like
yeah,
4 or 5 people from the thing. there.
yeah, because they originally had it, but then they all canceled at the same time.
Well, they
'cause wanted
had
to come
like
together.
3 or 4 of them, like you said, and then I think Keith David canceled, or one of them canceled, and they all kind of said, "Well, let's just wait then if we
Yeah.
can't." So
Yeah.
hopefully they'll.
And I wanted to meet Keith David because I wanted to get like an autograph from like They Live with him and Hyper.
So here's me with Moxley.
He looks more than unimpressed.
Yeah, he just doesn't.
Yeah,
fucking
he
care.
was just, he's a weird dude. Then this was my photo with the
Yeah,
screen people.
That's funny.
Let's
Got
see here.
old Skeet right on your shoulder.
Then that's Jamie right there.
That guy
Jamie's
is-
the dude.
man.
He's the fucking dude, man.
So when we did our photo op, they did the quad with Jamie, and he was leaving the side, and someone said something. He's like, "Be rad," and he just like walks out.
Yeah, he was screaming like, "Be rad!"
Be
or-
rad.
No, he was like, "Stay rad."
Stay rad. Yeah, okay, stay rad.
You know, he looks like the Forrest Gump when he's running.
Yeah.
Just that ratty ass looking beard and the ball cap
Yeah.
on. I was running.
He's like, he even talked to Sleazy. He's like, is that line pretty bad? Pretty
He's
long.
like,
He's
"How's it out
"Dude."
there?" I was like, "Dude, it's crazy."
He got on the chair and looked over. He's like, oh man,
Now this chick right here,
yes,
she was the diamond in the rough of this event.
she's a highlight.
Carmela McNeil. She plays the nurse in Halloween Kills.
Vanessa,
Doesn't she play the doctor dressed as a nurse?
Something like that.
yeah,
I thought
she's the naughty nurse. But her
She's
name-
she's like a naughty
she's
nurse
dressed as the nurse
Yeah.
at the Halloween
at
bar party.
yeah.
Super cool though. Like I didn't even know she was there. And I mean, I knew something was there with Halloween, but I didn't really check it.
So the funny part was we were walking around because we're trying to get the autographs from Scream, and then Sleazy looks over at me. He's like, "Is that the girl from Halloween Kills who gets shot in the face?" This woman, a woman in front of us, turns around. She's like, "Yeah, that's her."
Yeah, and we just started dying, dude.
She's like, that woman is hilarious. She's like, "Yeah, that's her."
But we went up to meet her, and of course, the other guy there that was in the doctor that played her husband was there too. He was the doctor, and she was the nurse in the movie.
And they had the original nurse as well next to them as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
But they were super cool. I walked up and I got the photo of her holding the gun.
Yeah.
You gotta get that autograph. You're meeting this lady. And she was like, "Why is everybody picking this photo?" And I'm like, "Because it's an iconic scene in the movie. Like you're part of history now." And super cool though. She sat and probably cut up with us for about 15 minutes. And she just charged for an autograph. And she was like, "Hey, come over here. Let's take some pictures."
Well, the thing is, like a lot of people with these that maybe aren't getting the attention of some of the big ones, they'll do that because they're trying to kill time too. Make
They don't want to just be bored sitting at a table with their dick in their hand.
Right.
They do something.
Talk to me.
Yeah, well, it gives them recognition too, and also meeting
She
people.
was super fucking cool though. She was like, "Hey, when you get out of here, just post those photos and add me, and I'll we'll follow each other on Facebook or not Facebook, Instagram." And but she was super cool. We cut up with her for 15 minutes, and she was telling us about how they took her to a range, and
I can shoot a gun.
She was like, I can shoot a gun. Trust me. I know how to shoot a gun. Don't let that scene fool you. And it was just like, well, you were shooting it pretty good there for a little bit. You just got, hit back and
got waxed.
Fired, but she was super cool. And she also plays the
secretary
in the Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
She's only in a couple scenes,
yeah,
but she reoccurs over the couple seasons. But she was super cool, real friendly, real nice. And we've actually talked to her a little bit on Instagram. She actually accepted the Sleazy Award for the best horror / thriller. And I just hit her back up on the comment. I said, hey, would you come on the show sometime and talk about your experience with Halloween Kills or whatever? She was like, I'd love to do it. We can work that out sometime.
That'd be fun.
I got to get back a hold of her and schedule it. But yeah, Carmela McNeil said she would come on the show.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So I can't wait for everybody to hear and meet her when we do have her. We'll have to figure something out. Like, is she going to just do a half hour or is she going to be on for the whole show?
Right.
Whatever we can get her for. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, that was she was the
permanently replace Robzilla, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Maybe we can get her to replace Robzilla.
That's a good replacement.
And she'll actually contribute to the show.
Yeah.
But that was our weekend at HorrorHound. So, other than Sunday, we got in there an hour early and we still couldn't get any autographs.
Yeah. I mean, we were actually like close to the door.
I had to settle for Tom Savini and Carmela McNeil.
Yeah.
Carmela was worth it, I guess.
I did as well. And I did get to see and have a photo op with Ruby Riot. I did. She was way cool, super cool. And of course, I got to meet Mark Dacascos.
Rob grabbed her ass.
I got to see Mark Dacascos.
I was waiting for you to see if you were going to meet him or not.
I did. He was probably one of he's super nice and awesome too.
Rob was like, will you sign my Double Dragon undies?
I do have the Double Dragon one to him as Jimmy Lee.
And he was like, no, but I'll give you this 8x10.
Okay, that's fine.
If you just leave right now, sir.
He's like, who should I make it out to? I said, Robzilla. He's like, oh, is that a first name and last name? I said, no, just think of Godzilla and then make it Robzilla. He's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I kind of miss doing the conventions with Hot Sauce though. Because Hot Sauce would always have a habit of picking out people, like, look at this bitch right here.
I'm a very people observant person.
I think we saw this woman that was she was rather tall and big, but she had a shirt on that was like I forget what it said. Like it was something Klingon or something like Klingon in the sheets, officer in the streets or something like that.
Something stupid.
And Mike pointed it out one time. We were down there at we were in North Carolina. I want to say for that David Tennant.
Yeah, his first big one.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Tennant experience.
Yeah, and then come to find out the fucker comes to Columbus a year later. Like, what the fuck?
We didn't know. You couldn't pass up that opportunity.
No, we didn't know he was ever going to come back, so we had to take it.
Let alone in Columbus,
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we can move on. Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. It is the
battle of the bitches.
This might beat out like OJ's trial with like I'm sure like old people and everything are like sitting at home watching court TV because they're televising it, aren't they?
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, they got
I know people are like putting it on live on like TikTok.
Yeah, that's why I've been seeing it at.
But I just think it's funny. Like you're hearing all these shitty comments come out about each of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Like, I mean, it sounds like they're both terrible people.
Yeah.
And they were both abusive to each other. And, the fans on each side are just going back and forth at each other. They have been for years now. But it's funny. We were playing a clip earlier of some guy. And he was like, I'm just tired.
It's been on for years. I just want to do my art and be left the fuck alone.
I can't paint anymore. I just want this to be over and everybody get the help they need and move on. And it's like, God damn, dude, that's how I feel about life in general. Like, I'm just tired. I need a break.
Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to get him to turn on one of them.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just tired of all this.
I just want to paint.
But man, the stuff you're hearing from this trial is just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I guess Amber Heard's assistant testified, and she said she asked for a pay raise, and Amber Heard spit in her face and went on some like
tirade.
Yeah, she just went on a rage and was destroying shit.
Was it his assistant?
It was her assistant.
Her assistant, okay.
Because she asked her for the raise.
Right.
She would ask Johnny Depp for the raise, I guess, if she was Johnny Depp's.
Yeah.
But
he'd be like, that's fine.
Johnny Depp probably just gives everybody a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
then
then
like check.
Yeah.
I also heard that she called Johnny Depp a fat old man, and all he does is sit around and play guitars, and he's boring. And it's
I
like,
mean, that's how I kind of feel Johnny Depp would be,
yeah, I mean,
and just be the biggest fucking pothead.
well, if you don't like him, why did you marry him?
Right.
Or divorce him and move on, and that'd be the end of it.
No.
But it's like these two just go back and forth. And then there was some of her stories that like they're coming out of people testifying what she said are like insane. Like,
Well, it's been kind of a big reversal because
Yeah.
she wrote that Washington Post thing, and she didn't name him specifically, but she was talking about abuse or whatever, and a lot of people kind of inferred that it was him.
right.
And for a while there was like the big thing, like, oh my God, Johnny Depp, da, 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 da. And then coming to find out that she's also been pretty abusive too.
Yeah. So she's not as squeaky clean and innocent in this type of relationship.
Yeah. And that's what I think one of the psychiatrists or whatever said, it was a mutual abusiveness or something like that.
Yeah.
Got that right.
Then like somebody testified and said that she had said that Johnny Depp was drunk one night and dragged her through broken bottles and was smashing bottles of liquor everywhere. Then he dragged her and ripped her nightgown off and penetrated her with another alcohol bottle. It's like, good God.
Like even you look at Johnny Depp, like I just don't see that rage in that kind of a man.
We've all seen the video of him like slamming the cupboards and throwing shit and cussing at her. And I mean, anybody's capable of, being rageful when they're on alcohol.
Going off.
But me and some of these stories are just like, holy shit. I'm not saying I don't believe her or I do believe her. I'm just like,
It's clear that they're both they're both out there.
These are just two fucking crazy people that need to leave each other alone and move on with their life.
Right.
Like, but I don't blame him. I mean, she cost him with the role and
cost him a lot of roles because I'm like he was up for a bunch of roles.
He had to give up that one role, and was it the Fantastic Beasts or whatever?
Yeah, he can be in that one.
How much money was he supposed to get from that?
A lot.
I mean, we're talking
because he was a major role.
Because he's suing her for what, $50 million,
$100 million for defamation.
Oh, I bet he lost $100 million off that role.
Yeah, you have to realize what the amount of money you're going to get on the back end as well. It depends on what their contract is.
Yeah, so I don't blame him for suing her. All that shit.
And especially that's Harry Potter,
especially if he's innocent.
Yeah.
Let's say he didn't do all these extreme things that are coming out in court.
Let's say he did things, but not the extreme that she's talked about. But you have to realize that she's not an angel as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, definitely not after the stories we're hearing.
Right.
But who knows, how many of these are true? How many people are, lying on the stand? I don't know. We just don't know.
Yeah.
I just think this needs to be one of those issues where they just fucking.
Someone needs to be the adult here. Like, you know what? Let's just fucking end this, okay? Just go your way, go mine. This be done. Just whatever.
But it's too late for that because
it is
somebody lost work and it's all fucked up now.
Well, she might have even lost her role from Aquaman. She was supposed to be back in Aquaman 2 or whatever.
I don't think they've cut her yet.
Really?
No, I think she's still involved with it.
It's I mean, they've talked about her was going to get cut, and
they even brought her back. Maybe they did cut her and brought her back.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Your producer could look that up, but I will.
Yeah, you're kind of like the producer, really. I mean, let's face the facts.
He does have his whole setup at his fingertips. He's not like Robzilla using 2 thumbs.
That beard's getting pretty epic over there.
2 left thumbs.
Not bad. No, it's been trimmed up. It's not bad. Sorry,
I see the sides are trimmed up now.
Yeah, when I got my mullet cut.
You got that nice haircut a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that poor lady was tasked with cutting your hair.
It says she was almost didn't return for Aquaman 2, but it's saying for chemistry issues with Jason Momoa, supposedly.
Yeah, she's still.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
It's
she's one of the crazy women who's not attracted to Jason Momoa
because she's probably an alcoholic herself too.
Yeah,
but it really just sounds like these are just two people that have really fucked up issues, and they just need to leave each other alone and move on and shut the fuck up.
They were only married for a year or something.
Yeah. Like, my God, you hear about this and you think like all the other like relationships that have these problems seriously and they're on a local level and not televised, like it's insane, man. We find anything out?
There was a social media push to remove her, but the producer and their creative team said no, they weren't going to do it because it was all Johnny Depp fans online raising a ruckus to get rid of her.
They got that Warner Brothers Discovery merger now, so who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah,
I know, especially in Ezra Miller getting fired. You know,
how do you fuck up that bad? Like he's another one that's crazy.
He's another fuck up. That's what he is.
He's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what was he choking some lady or something down there in Hawaii?
That's what he said. But then there's like a video, like she was going in some type of, it looked like a door or something. He was standing out there, and then she like pushed him out, but you don't see him choking her. But it might have been some other incident as well. But then the cops came right after that.
I just don't get how you get to this level of fame and you go like
money.
Why don't you go to your job and go the fuck home or where you're supposed to
when
stay?
I'm at that level of success and I know like I'm capable of making even more fucking money, you know, I gotta like it would be on my mind like don't fuck up. This person says something to you, just run the fuck away and get in your car and go home.
Yeah.
You know, just don't just leave everybody alone and mind your business. I'd be dressing up, you know, I wouldn't even look like myself going out in public. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, you can't go out in the public and it gets into old and you want to hit paparazzi or whatever. But I mean, there's money on the line, man.
It's 2022. You can pretty much have anything in your fucking house. I mean, what you need, don't need to go out. You know what I'm saying?
I
don't
got the
understand.
money, just buy the place out or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've left the house very sparingly over the past 2 years.
Right. And we don't have millions of dollars that we can just buy random bullshit.
Right. They can, these motherfuckers, if they want to go do something, they can rent the whole place out and, you know,
Not
have
be
it,
bothered.
have it to themselves and their friends, you know. But yeah, that dude, he's another one that's crazy.
Well, at least he's the Flash, so they'll just write him off, and he
It
just
sounds
changes.
like with the Discovery's acquisition of Time Warner and Warner Brothers that they're going to reboot the whole DCEU.
I don't think. Yeah, it's very
gonna
early
have
to tell, but
But that's the plan.
It's heating up now,
Yeah.
especially this week. They're saying like they could just potentially say fuck it and get rid of everything.
they want to make it more like Marvel.
Yeah,
Again,
they want a guy, which is what we've been saying for how many years? We need one guy that knows what has a plan, lays it out for 10 years, and gets us there 1 year at a time.
And have a DC studio like has Marvel Studios.
That's what they want.
It's simple as fact. If they want
continuity.
Yeah, all they had to do is go to Zack Snyder, like, hey, you know what? You're going to be the guy who runs this. So get whoever you want to get. Here's your paycheck.
But half the people don't like Snyder. So it's not,
well, I know,
it's not going to be a success until they get Marvel type reviews, you know?
Right.
And
Marvel money.
you know, honestly, if they were smart, they just write James Gunn a blank check.
Yeah.
And say, hey, dude, just do it.
If anything, I would say
get a guy to work with James Gunn, you know, somebody that's going to be the Kevin Feige of DC, and work with James Gunn and say, dude, let's get there.
That was the funny thing about that is they want someone like him. They want a more Marvel thing.
Right.
But they still want movies like Joker. Like Marvel wouldn't do a Joker kind of movie.
They would not touch it because it would be off continuity, you know? And that's their thing. They're just going to have to fucking, you know, give up something to get something.
Yeah. And that was the one thing DC was doing well at this point. It was like, I think they'd kind of given up on continuity in general.
And it's doing like Joker
and like, this is continuity or it's not. We don't care. If we want it to be, it is. If we don't want it to be, it's not. And I think in a way that was kind of working for him, but in a way, like, you know, you get those linked Marvel movies, you got that crowd coming for the next movie. As soon as this one's done,
definitely
we got them booked for the next one too.
I mean, look how many like subpar movies Marvel's put out the past couple of years. I mean, they haven't been the greatest, but they're still
decent movies.
$100 million opening weekend.
Yeah.
You know, like they're still killing it, like cash wise around the world. But yeah, imagine what they could do with really good Justice League movies, you know, like they could be breaking box office records with Marvel.
I mean, you know, you got to think like Marvel's in a way kind of using second tier characters. Like Iron Man wasn't a first tier character. You know, Captain America, maybe. You know, Spider-Man, definitely. Spider-Man was a top tier character, but you know, Thor, I wouldn't say Thor was quite a top tier character. Hulk, maybe. But I mean, this is what they're doing with like their sort of B and C and D characters. You know, DC's got, you know, Batman, Superman, The Flash. You could, you know, keep going on them.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we talked about all we could with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. They're just fucking crazy. So we'll move along to our next thing.
They got a month-long trial or something.
And we
Yeah, it's
even
like a
fit
month.
in some DCEU news in there. That's how good we are,
Trying.
motherfuckers.
Trying.
I had to put this in the list when I saw it this week, and I know we've got our skeptic over there in Chicago. I love it. Okay, so earlier,
Dissenting voice, not skeptic.
let's say, okay, so what was it last week? I want to say the Pentagon released like 1,500 pages of UFO related research. They declassified them as part of the Freedom of Information Act request. I guess they had fought this a little bit and they finally lost or whatever.
Said fuck it.
So encounters with UFOs have reportedly left Americans suffering from radiation burns, brain and nervous system damage, and even unaccounted for pregnancies. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it was
Aliens
I
raping
swear.
people out here.
I swear it was aliens.
I don't remember fucking that crackhead. According to a massive database of U.S. government reports recently made through the Freedom of Information Act request, the database of documents includes more than 1,500 pages of UFO-related material from the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, which is what Lou Elizondo ran years ago on the black budget money, which is a secretive U.S. Department of Defense program that ran from 2007 to 2012. Despite never being classified as secret or top secret, the ATIP only became known to the public in 2017 when former director Lou Elizondo resigned from the Pentagon and released several now infamous videos of the unidentified aircraft moving in seemingly impossible ways to the media. Shortly after ATIP's existence was revealed, the U.S. outpost of the British tabloid The Sun filed a Freedom of Information Act request for any and all documents related to the program. 4 years later, on April 5th, 2022, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, honored the request by releasing more than 1,574 pages of material to The Sun. According to The Sun, the cache of documents includes reports on the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans, studies on advanced technology such as invisibility cloaks, and plans for deep space exploration and colonization. Some portions of the documents were withheld in part for privacy and confidentiality concerns, the ATIP told The Sun. One standout document from the collection is a report titled Anomalous Acute and Subacute Field Effects on Human and Biological Tissues, dated March 2010. The report describes alleged injuries to human observers by anomalous advanced aerospace systems, some of which may be a threat to the United States' interest, according to the document. The report describes 42 cases from medical files and 300 unpublished cases where humans sustained injuries after alleged encounters with anomalous vehicles, which include UFOs. In some cases, humans showed burn injuries or other conditions related to electromagnetic radiation, the report said. Some of them appearing to have been inflicted by energy-related propulsion systems. The report also noted cases of brain damage, nerve damage, heart palpitations, and headaches related to anomalous vehicle encounters. What's everybody think about that? Is that not some crazy shit?
They're abducting people, and people just can't handle that shit, man.
I mean, the thing that like really got me was the unaccounted for pregnancy. Like,
Yeah, it's just like, are these
what? Like, what?
Yeah.
How is that? Like, I mean, okay, there's that girl that's 16 that doesn't realize she's pregnant. But did you not remember like having sex or something? I mean, what?
It was a
I want to hear from our
hazy night at the bar.
I want to hear from our skeptic in Chicago.
There's too many it's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. There's too many like, well, this person was burned from an anomalous vehicle propulsion system. Like,
yeah, they said the burns were all encounters from unidentified objects,
like electromagnetic propulsion systems or whatever.
Yeah,
motherfucker got a broken microwave and was making his fucking Dinty Moore beef stew and burn his fucking hand on the microwave.
Now I will say this:
it's Hot Pocket.
I watched Lou Elizondo be interviewed after this, the release, and he said, "This isn't your grandma. This isn't reports about your grandma seeing shit out in the back of her yard." He was like, these are all military reports.
Right.
So these are, trained men and women that are out in the field somewhere experiencing this. And so,
well, then you have to factor in that these people are seeing this. They do a lot of mental tests and psychological tests to make sure they're
they don't
sane.
really let a whole lot of crazy people into the military.
Well, especially with
even though they might get crazy while they're in the military.
Yeah.
But
this report is just the VAERS of UFOs. It don't mean shit. This is the VAERS database of UFOs.
So I don't know. Like I think something's here, and I think something's watching us. But you can have your own opinion, believe what you want.
Even like with your for me, the biggest person to even believe would be Bob Lazar. Because that guy's like, he's like, I didn't see no aliens, but he's like, there's some shit here that,
his story never changed.
Yeah, 20 years.
20 or 30 years, however long it's been.
It's still the same. He's like, I might have saw something, but he's like, it wasn't an alien.
But, I mean, from the first dump of info, the pilot photos with them chasing the UFO.
What? And they're like, what the fuck is that? What is that?
Hearing those pilots talking, hearing how like scared they were encountering this thing, like how bad it dusted them.
Yeah.
Like,
they're like, what aircraft can do that?
As far as we know, there's nothing that any government has that ability to move through the air and do, at those speeds.
And they said it was like even underwater or went down into
the water and came back up.
Yeah. Hot Sauce will like this. This is from the Sun article about some of this. It says one fascinating document included in an acquisition threat support report sets out how to categorize, quote, anomalous behavior with encounters with, quote, ghosts, yetis, spirits, elves, and other mythical legendary entities classed as AN3. Seeing a UFO with aliens on board would be a CE3. Poltergeists, crop circles, spontaneous human combustion, alien abductions, and other paranormal events are also categorized. Studies into advanced technology such as invisibility cloaks and mind-controlled robots are also included in the document cache.
Mm-hmm. It's VAERS. You can put anything you want in there.
It's so funny when you said fairies, because there's an episode in Supernatural. These people are being abducted. They see the white light, and it turns out they're fucking fairies. They're just abducting these people out in the cornfields.
But here's the thing, though. Our government has investigated all this stuff. Like, they're taking some of this stuff seriously, and they're now admitting that there is something in the air that we don't know what it is. We don't know where it's coming from. And, obviously it's not something that's just happening here. It's happening worldwide.
There's a fucking portal open, just like in Stranger Things.
They're taking reports. Read further down in that article. It says where you read the livescience.com. The report describes 42 cases, blah, 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 blah. The very next paragraph. It is unclear what kind of vetting process, if any, ATIP used to investigate these alleged cases.
Yeah, we don't know.
A report. We'll take a report on it, but that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's VAERS.
ATIP is just, we don't know anything other than what we've known that's gotten released the past couple of years, and what Lou Elizondo's told us that he can say. But I don't know. I think that dude knows some shit, obviously, because he said he's, I can't talk about what I know or I'll go to jail.
At this point, dude, like somebody's gonna fucking kill you. You ain't going to jail if you've released the information. Someone's gonna kill you.
I do like how some of those people that have like come out in the past have disappeared or instantly committed suicide,
or they end up dead.
But I mean, I guess it is what it is. But I don't know. So, Hot Sauce, being the skeptic that he is, he's calling bullshit.
If this was a change my view thread on Reddit, I would not have avoided any deltas and not changed my view.
The one thing that strikes out to me is the unwanted pregnant or the unacknowledged pregnant. Like, come on now, folks.
Like the burns and stuff, I would see like with the aircraft, because you know what I mean.
I believe the pilots more from
Linda, did you quit taking your birth control? No, Harry, it was an alien.
Yeah.
They experimented on me.
God damn it, I know you're lying, whore.
I was at the bar one night and had too many natty lights.
Natty lights.
All souped up on that fucking Mountain Dew. You blacked out.
She had some of that hillbilly coffee.
Hillbilly coffee, yeah. He's like a fucking villain.
What do you think, Mr. PBS?
I mean, I like the term skeptic. I think that's what I am. I'm
There's nothing. The world needs skeptics, or we just believe everything that came out.
Yeah.
I certainly they had the other big report that came out like last year, whatever, was like the government admits UFOs exist. Like, yeah, I mean, unidentified flying objects exist.
Yeah.
We know that. Is it extraterrestrial? I don't know. There's certainly, like you got the Fermi equation or whatever that says there's probably alien civilizations out there. Maybe they're so far away we'll never know.
Does it make you think though, like after hearing about NASA hiring all those theologists and stuff like that, right before they launched that big ass satellite, and they're like, it sounds like NASA is like really confident that they're going to find evidence of something out there.
Well, what was there was some big thing that there was some project, air quotes or whatever, that like media has been preparing us forever, like Spielberg and E.T.
That was like the rumor that the government financed, was it
stuff like that,
Close Encounters to get people ready.
There was a whole program
to
prepare people for the day that eventually aliens came. It wouldn't be like a complete shock.
My buddy was an EMT, and I could be getting this wrong because this was years ago. He was an EMT out in West Virginia, and he ran 911. And they had a part of the manual for the emergency was like what to do if you encounter an alien, like what steps you need to do, and like that's crazy that we have to have that in a manual. I mean,
I think that'd be kind of funny that let's say we're not alone and we have to create a handbook how to deal with a different type of race that is extraterrestrial. So
yeah, I'm kind of with Hot Sauce on this one. That it sounds like the VAERS of
it very well could be. That
doesn't mean there's not something in there. That's,
I can see where
I would
the skepticism is it, but
I would probably, it's just like in Blue Book, where it was they could explain a high percentage of them of the sightings, but there was a small percentage they could never explain. Right. And I think that's probably what this report is going to, shape out to be.
That's how a lot of that stuff came out. That most of the stuff probably had some explanation, or like a lot of it had a definite explanation. A little bit more had a very probable explanation, and there was always a small percentage that we just couldn't explain.
I just want to hear these people that had unacknowledged pregnancies.
Yeah,
I want to see the kid nowadays. Like
right, Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter, said he's seen a UFO. And he was like a nuclear physicist and all that. And he believes he's seen a UFO.
Was it JFK? They said he was obsessed with aliens. And a lot of people think he was assassinated because he knew something.
And with that report, I can see a lot of skepticism with it. For me, I feel more confident, with the pilots. And
I mean, there's definitely some of that video, some of those things zigging and zagging.
With that, I
Didn't Reagan have an encounter too while they were flying to China one time?
Oh, who knows what happened to Reagan?
Yeah,
something about they saw a UFO and then the plane, Air Force One, like lost power.
That's probably what happened is they met Reagan and like, shit, we're out of here.
Or was it like I think was it Truman said he was supposed to meet with an alien or something like that? It was like on some documentary.
Nah, that's you're thinking of Ford.
Oh, okay.
Not Ford. Wasn't Harry Truman either. It's Eisenhower.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Eisenhower supposedly met with the Greys.
Yeah.
Like that's a big like conspiracy theory. Like Eisenhower met with the Greys in exchange for technology. They're allowed to kidnap and research on us.
Well, even they talk about like, how the pyramids and stuff was built, like how at that time there's no way
they could lift all those heavy ass stones.
And how I think even like geometry, how they would have to move it to stack it. It's just like at that time impossible.
Hey man,
I always feel like humans could get a lot done if we didn't.
The Egyptians were smart motherfuckers. They mapped the skies out, and that's how they got around.
They were beyond their years.
Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek, said he hated the alien origin stuff because it took away from what people were capable of doing when they really wanted to do something.
That's true though.
Well, we got our UFO talk in for this. I've been wanting to talk about UFOs and conspiracy theories on here forever.
I want to believe.
I do. I really want to believe.
That makes you want to watch X-Files.
Do you remember? Oh, I still love X-Files. Do you remember those like alien autopsy VHSs from like the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
never saw one of them, but I remember like you'd see a preview for it or something.
Like Fox had one on, and it turned out it was bullshit. Like it was a studio doing it to make it look
well,
real.
even there's like some even TikToks of like like foreign countries, like what was it, like India, like these supposedly
that thing that was walking around.
It's like a fucking alien walking around. They're like talking different language. They're like, what the fuck is it? They're like, it looks like it's lost, like it's confused.
Yeah, everybody they're just riding their mopeds up next to it.
Yeah,
whatever it is, a tall skinny person or anyways.
yeah, it's still creepy. It's just it's the dark of night, and then there's something fucking walking around. You don't know what it is.
Look, buddy, I got a job to get to.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Millie Bobby Brown on the board, but we can just cut her. She's complaining about people sexualizing her now that she's 18.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Sorry.
Who fucking cares?
Yep.
At Britney Spears about her experience with that.
Just cut your hair, honey. Just shave it off again.
Yeah, no one will ever sexualize you again.
Yeah.
So moving on, part of the homework I gave everybody this week was to watch the new Tony Hawk documentary on HBO Max, Until the Wheels Fall Off.
Wow.
It was a good fucking documentary.
That's really good.
What'd you think, Hot Sauce?
I wouldn't say it was good. I think it was okay, but it was too fucking long.
Can I inject in there real quick that I have the same opinion of Tony Hawk as I do of the movie King Richard. Like it's nice and it's well made and it's inspirational, but I've seen it before.
Yeah. And I don't think it was bad. Don't take that as a dislike. It was too goddamn long. I did not need over 2 fucking hours.
See it like
I never watched the Tony Hawk documentary, so
yeah.
I've known about Tony Hawk. I watched him do the 900 live
X Games.
I remember seeing him make history live.
That was a big
deal. I'm a fan of the games, but I never took the time to like learn about skating history or any of that. And it was cool to see, like, because you think of Tony Hawk and you're like, everybody loves Tony Hawk.
Right.
Then you watch this documentary. And you're like, man, people fucking hated him when he was this kid that was whooping everybody's ass in these skating tournaments.
Yeah. He was creating new moves and they couldn't keep up with him. And he was just kept winning and winning and winning.
This motherfucker buys his own house when he's in school.
Yes, like 16, 17.
And they describe how skating has its ups and downs. And when it fucking crashes, it crashes. There's no money to be made. Like they're all fucking dirt poor.
Tore up those skate parks and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it dipped like that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. I just didn't know a whole lot about the history of skating, like I said.
Yeah.
And I think that's one part of the documentary I really liked and that they did a good job on was sharing that history and, letting it wasn't an easy ride to stardom for Tony. I mean, he was not well liked in the skating community.
And he was like the youngest of like 3 or 4 siblings. Like his parents were almost like grandparents at that point.
Yeah, his parents were old as fuck when they had him.
Yeah.
For me, that was
baby.
Yeah.
And they told people that too. Like, yeah, this is a little accident or mistake or whatever.
And that was another thing. A lot of people hated him because his dad really took a great amount of investment in him.
And skateboarding.
Made a whole skate organization, so he could, showcase his skills. And he was the guy that kind of ran everything. So people hated him because they thought he got extra attention from that.
Well, and he was kind of like, the father of skateboarding. Like, hey, you need to fucking chill out. You need to quit doing this.
Yeah, everybody would tell him to fuck off.
Yeah, he was kind of like, roping him into being too wild.
Imagine that nerd we were talking about yelling at
yeah, exactly.
Tony Hawk's dad all the time.
Exactly. That's what he had to deal with every day. These little
fuck you fat bald fuck.
Yeah.
For me, that was like the best part of the documentary. It started out like real slow with like the intro of him practicing the 900 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they go visit his mom in the nursing home.
That was so sad, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I wish they hadn't.
Yeah.
I think they did because they talk about his dad so much later on that they wanted to get her in there.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing with his mom, did I miss in there where they talk about her passing away?
I don't remember seeing
because
that. I know
she passed in 2019.
I don't
so
think
it was weird for me to see that.
Yeah. Because I know in the documentary, like she ends up because they end up getting a divorce and she ends up moving to Arizona and he stays.
No, she moved. I think she moved to Arizona while they were still married.
Oh, okay. They're still married. Oh, okay.
Because she had an opportunity
to get her PhD or something.
Okay.
But that whole part, like after that, when they get into like his origins in skateboarding and that whole skateboard scene in like the 80s.
Yeah.
And they've got like the old, the West Coast punk they're playing and they're showing all the old VHS and they're talking about his crew that he got into. And they're talking about
the Bones Brigade.
Yeah, the Bones Brigade.
Yeah.
And then they're
awesome.
talking about like the VHS tapes they made, you know, a couple years later.
Mhm.
That was like a big deal in skateboarding. Like that 50 minutes, you know, that was a good documentary, that part. I
Yeah.
loved that part. I
Yeah.
thought that was really
just
cool.
like that. I didn't know the ups and downs with it. And then I think even Tony said like at that time, like his decks that he was selling, he was making 6 figures.
Yeah.
He said they couldn't keep them in stock. And then he's turning around at 16, 17 years old, getting a house, and you know, they're getting credit cards. He's like, we thought that was free money. You ain't got to pay that back. I was
going overseas.
Yeah, overseas and all that. And people would just be coming just for them.
Yeah. They would do skating demos overseas and stuff, and people would just eat it up. But man, that just goes to show you. And I think skating's probably on another one of those downward trends right now.
Maybe plateau is a better word. I think
It's not as popular as it once
Right.
was,
but it is an Olympic sport now.
And that's awesome.
2021.
That's awesome that those guys really have had an impact on it. You know, like they've made a sport for, you know, future generations, even though it's not as popular as it was when we were in high school.
Like you said, I mean, I remember watching the X Games, whatever was the talent competition.
Yeah,
where he does the 900, like he runs out of time. And they just keep everything going, and he tries again until he gets it.
I remember watching X Games. I loved it because I love the BMX. I love the, you know, the skateboarding. I always remember they had the rivalry with the fucking like, inline skaters. They always, I remember they always had an issue with those. I was like, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
But I really like how you really got to see his, you know, the people the team he was with the Bones Brigade, like, you know, was it like Lance Mountain or Danny Mountain or something?
Lance Mountain and all those guys. I mean, and their stories were good too.
Yeah. They even said too, is like, you know, I've destroyed my body for the love of skateboarding.
Oh, yeah. And these guys can't quit either.
Yeah, they can't. They're even this guy, like, because they even say like majority of them, they're like, well, if they feel like it's unsafe, they stop the trick. Not Tony. He's got to keep fucking doing it. And of course, even when they're doing like a retro demo from when they were kids to then, he takes a fucking fall and gets a concussion. I mean, you know,
that one part where you see him get the concussion,
his head snapped back.
Yeah, and he's just they're like, well, you know what's going on? He's like, what?
Yeah, and I mean that was like the point of the documentary is to show like he's almost like a Terminator in a way, like a Superman, and he's just going to keep going until he gets the thing he wants.
Yeah,
even if he does something stupid like that.
And it's so funny. He's almost like the, you know, basically like the Michael Jordan or Kobe of skateboarding. I mean, I think he created over 100 tricks.
Yeah,
100 new tricks.
I wish they didn't cover it a lot, but they talked about the games a little bit. I wish they'd have gone into that a little more because that was another big deal.
There's a documentary about the games.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's already one out there because if they'd have put that in there, it'd have been a fucking 4-hour mini.
Right. But like he talks about going to sit down with one of the guys from Activision. It's like, all right, here's your check, $4 million.
He's like, what?
He's like, holy shit.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, hey,
a couple more. Here's your check for $20 million.
Yeah, here's your check for $20 million.
Like those games were big.
Do you think it was red painting night that night at the Hog House, as Conor McGregor would say?
And I didn't even know, like, I honestly, I didn't know he was married like 3 or 4 times. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I remember they had like, I think they did like MTV like cribs one time, and they went to his crib and had his wife and his kids. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, oh, this is his second wife, third wife, and his kids are all grown. Fucking hate that music.
Wrap it up, dude. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
But I'm kind of with Hot Sauce again. Like if this documentary had been about 10 minutes shorter, 15 minutes shorter, really packed it in there.
It didn't feel that long.
Well, I'm sorry it disrupted your whole marathon of everything made before World War II.
I was literally I got up in the morning. I was washing dishes and making breakfast, and I was watching it on my phone, and I almost turned it off in that first 10 minutes, watching him sitting there doing the trick 3,000 times.
I was just like waiting for him to get it. I'm like, is he going to get it this time?
I knew what they were doing. They were just trying to show his frustration with not getting it. I'm like, all right.
He doesn't give up.
So I almost did turn it off, but I'm like, I'll keep watching.
Fucking lucky, Tony.
All right. So we got one last thing, and we're just going to talk about what we've been watching. And I think there was one movie that we all kind of watched this week.
Did Rob watch The Night House?
No,
I watched about 20 minutes of it and I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So what'd you think of it, Hot Sauce?
The Night House?
You were I remember you saying you really liked it.
I fucking loved it. I thought it was great, but I'm gonna backtrack real quick. Pretending I'm a Superman, the Tony Hawk video game story, 2020, an hour and 13 minutes. That's the story about the video game, the Tony Hawk franchise.
What is that on?
It's watch on Prime Video, rent or buy for $2.99. I don't see it listed on any services. I don't know if it's available on a disc or anything.
Well, especially for $2.99. I mean,
I bet somebody's got it somewhere.
oh yeah.
Pretending I'm a Superman, the Tony Hawk video game story.
Man.
All right. So what did you
The
think?
Night House, I loved it. I thought the Night House was fucking great. I liked the way that it played the story out because it's like you didn't really know what was going on. You were kind of following along and kind of figuring out as it went along and like what little twists or turns it had. It wasn't something that I could sit there and watch and say like, oh, I know what they're going to do. I know what this is going to be about. I know what's going to happen here. It had good suspense all the way through. It kept me interested. It kept my attention.
I kept like, and very rarely, like when I'm at home, do I put my phone down for the entire movie. But like, there was a couple parts in the beginning where I was like, I just got to throw the phone across the room because this shit's got to have something I need to see.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, I'm not going to lie. After the movie, I had to go to YouTube and find somebody's like complete review on it to kind of like, see things that I might have missed or something.
So it kind of connects.
A couple of really good, I don't know if I want to call them jump scares exactly, but there was a couple of good ones in there.
Well, I mean, it's just fucking, some of the scenes are creepy. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, let's face it, everybody's been home by themselves and they've heard something. They're like, what the fuck?
Well, and that's the first like 20 minutes. There's like one scene. I'm like, you've had that feeling where you fucking think you see something.
Yeah.
And then you go up and you're like, nothing's there, but you're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
And then
some shadow or something.
Well, and that's what's more terrifying to me in these like slasher movies because you've had that sensation, that feeling.
But this movie, it was really like Hereditary type.
That's what you said.
Elevated horror in a way.
Like, is this really happening, or is this a crazy person?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to go back and like think about something like, well, will this happen? So it's got to be real.
It's just so the plot is basically it starts out with this woman is home alone in her house because her husband committed suicide like the week before.
Yeah.
And
with a gun that
we don't know why exactly he did it because it's it's perfect life, nice house, nice family, and all that.
How sweet was that fucking house they lived in?
That was awesome.
Really nice.
Right on the
and
fucking lake.
He built that.
Right.
What I saw.
That's part of the story is that
Okay.
he built the house. And is there another house that he built? Is it real? Did he really build a house or not? That was one of the things I would have liked a little more of because there's a part where she finds some books and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I always love a good scene where somebody goes to the bookstore or the library in a movie,
Nerd.
It really gets me.
So
I could have gone for a little bit more of that stuff, but it was like, I'm with you guys. Like it really, during the daytime scenes, you're kind of watching it for the story. And then when she goes home and it's a nighttime scene, you're like, all right, what's going to happen?
I really wouldn't mind watching it again just to see if I missed something even more, than what I haven't, caught up on.
It's one I'll probably watch again.
Yeah.
Streaming on HBO Max now, by the way.
It'll go in the October Halloween rotation for sure.
Yeah,
okay.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a creepy fucking movie, man. Like, I might even say it was a little creepier than Hereditary, but I don't know.
Hereditary gets a little too out there.
Yeah.
It does get out there, but then there's just moments where, let's say you're laying in bed and you see something like, is there something in my fucking room?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay, well, that's just something.
So the night house is definitely a little more toned down.
Yeah.
And
it
sounds like
it works well. I love
it's
the
just
cast is really good.
It's just a little like more psychological, I think.
Right.
But
well, like you said, part of the thing is both of you said it's kind of like what's going on. Is this for sure going on?
Yeah.
There's a part like early on where she talks about like, oh yeah, my husband wasn't the depressed type. That was me. I was the one who had those kind of problems.
Yeah.
So then you start thinking like,
is it real? Is she imagining it?
Yeah. Crazy fucking movie though.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I think we all enjoyed it. So
that was one
except for you, fucker.
I know.
I fell asleep 10 minutes into it.
He was busy rewatching Untitled horror movie or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather shoot myself.
He was too busy. What did you rewatch?
Hangover.
And he was too busy rewatching Hangover.
I'll tell you what, all the Hangover movies, they still hold up today.
It's still funny to me.
They're fucking hilarious. I love Hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are pretty good movies. I'll say that. But you couldn't like watch it while you were making the dog food at 4:00 in the morning.
I wouldn't be able to focus.
What do you mean you wouldn't be able to focus?
It'd be too creepy in the morning like that.
You see Rob like sitting on the couch with his bowl of cereal and the dog like eating a prime steak next to him. Prime steak and veggies for breakfast.
He's got his bro breakfast, which is chicken and broccoli.
That dog eats better than any of us.
Pretty much. Motherfucker try to attack me.
Did it really?
You almost bit me.
You bite the hand that feeds
I
you.
wish it would have.
Shooting.
I wish it would have got you.
Yeah.
Then you would have been
Too
like
slow.
You would have just like slowly opened the door and let him out.
Tracy's like, go apologize to him. The dog walked over. He's like all sad because he knew he fucked up.
Oh, I thought she was make you
Yeah,
apologize.
it would have been better if she made you
I'm
apologize.
sorry for making you bite me.
And I was looking at the dog. I was like, you know, you done fucked up, right? He's
I
just
know
like,
I'm a piece of shit dog, but please love me.
How you almost get bit by a blind dog? It can't even see you.
I reached down to pet him. I just had put a lotion on my hands and I reached down to pet him. He didn't recognize my scent. And then like, he was like,
Rob, he recognizes your scent.
Probably
You keep
probably-
telling yourself it was the lotion.
Yes.
He wants you to put him out of his
Lotion
misery.
Right.
he wanted a taste of the flesh.
He's like,
He's
how
like,
much
if I bite
longer,
this motherfucker, they'll kill me.
how much longer do I have to listen to this fat bald motherfucker?
Bitch about me. Oh wait, I can't. I'm deaf.
Go to sleep, Brownie. You're fine. Take a nap.
He watches all these shitty fucking movies. I can't take it anymore.
I'm going deaf because all the fucking movies are horrible.
This untitled horror movie. Oh my god, it was the worst.
Browniereviews.com.
Yeah. Check that on Reddit.
Oh man. I actually watched I watched two good movies. And one was on Prime and then one was on HBO Max.
I watched that one you mentioned as well.
Ken.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ken was really good. I remember like previews for it when it was coming out, and then
I actually thought you talked about this one before because I think there was a similar show on Netflix
yeah,
that had sort of like a kid getting alien
That
technology or something like that.
yeah, it's Raising Dion or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, he's like a superhero basically, but
Yeah,
he's developing.
But this was
powers.
weird. This kid just finds an alien gun and runs. His brother's a piece of shit. James Franco's the villain in it.
with
he's
his
a-
fucking mullet.
He's a dude. He plays such a great piece of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. I was really entertained by it. And there's a surprise casting at the end. You know, a surprise character comes out, and you're like, "Oh shit, he's in this movie."
And like you said, like I remember seeing like very limited trailer for it, like every now and
I
then.
remember
But
seeing
then
a trailer for it.
yeah, but it wasn't
Oh,
like
what's the who
super
plays the
advertised.
dad?
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid is
Dennis
the
Quaid
dad.
was in it. Zoe Kravitz was in it.
Yeah.
She's in it. as a
Zoe
little role.
Kravitz is one of the main characters.
Yeah.
You know,
And that
towards the
came out
middle.
in 2018.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, good watch, man. Definitely. If you got an HBO Max subscription and you're bored one night, fire it up.
I think you should just get HBO Max because there's just so much stuff. In the
Yeah, there really
content.
is.
Yeah.
Well, and now that Discovery's
That's what I'm waiting to see. What happens with
well,
that.
they said they're going to put Discovery Plus on
Right.
HBO Max and it'd just be one subscription.
Oh,
which-
are they going to raise the price or whatever?
I don't know. I mean,
It's already like $15.
yeah, I don't
I wouldn't be
think they
surprised
will.
if they did.
I don't think they will. I think they'll just kind of move everything together and
Because I don't know how much subscribers like Discovery had. I don't think Discovery had been around that long.
no.
HBO Max has only been around like a
Discovery
year.
is how much is Discovery? Can we find that out, Rob?
Let's say is
Just type-
Tassa's going to type it up quicker.
Discovery Plus.
Discovery Plus.
HBO
Hurry up.
Max has been around for 2 years, I think.
It's got something like that, a year or two at least. And
But they had the HBO now.
well, they
before
they
that.
were HBO first, and then they became HBO Max. And Discovery Plus, it's got a lot of their like reality shows on it, but it had some good movies or series on
Discovery
it.
Plus has only been out a year. They launched January 4th, 2021 in the US.
Discovery Plus is as of right now $4.99.
I was wondering why that didn't hit the first time. So,
So
they're $4.99.
Plan starts at $4.99.
What's the highest one?
Give me that commercial free.
I bet it's 10.
Yeah, they get that commercial free.
I bet it's 10, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Ad free is actually $6.99.
Yeah, I don't see them raising the
Yeah, I don't-
price. I think they'll just combine it and make it more attractive.
Yeah.
If they did, it'd probably be even 20 if they did, but I don't if they did, but they might just keep
Yeah.
it since it's such a small subscription.
But I'm telling you, that Ken was a solid movie. I was really surprised. I was like, I found it. I was like reading it. I watched the trailer, and then of course I had to go to Letterboxd and see what other people thought of it. was like, I'll watch it, you know.
And you get good reviews on Letterboxd too.
Yeah, I mean, it's decent. It's a good watch, man. And then the other movie I watched was Carriers, and that has Chris Pine in it.
I remember hearing about it. I
That
don't
was
think I
on
watched
Amazon
that.
Prime, but there's like this. They're like in a pandemic kind
I
of,
thought I saw like a TikTok or something going around of a clip from the movie.
but there's this disease that makes people really fucked up, and there's no cure. So they're like riding around with two groups of friends. It's like two couples, and they come across this father and daughter, and the daughter is sick. But you know, they end up fucking their car up, so they go back to get their car, and they end up kind of like sealing the back of the Jeep off and putting them in there, and you know they're trying to look for a FEMA camp, and it goes from there. There's all these rules, but it's kind of you know your typical like end of the world.
Gave me like a 28 Days Later kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Whatever, the clip I saw or whatever.
Yeah, they run
Is that
into
a Prime exclusive?
Prime
Original.
I don't know, but I just know it's on Prime, so that's
I
where
feel
I
like I
watched
just saw a preview for that or something.
Yeah, but
wasn't
it wasn't bad. I mean, it was a decent little movie.
And of course, he said 28 Days Later, and I just love 28 Days Later.
Those movies are so fucking good.
Man,
I love them. When are they going to get some of the people from that movie in some of these conventions? Of course, it's a foreign movie.
Well, but I mean,
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy or whatever. He's
Cillian Murphy, yeah.
doing what was he doing? Peaky Blinders and
Peaky Blinders,
using
yeah.
Batman.
His shit
Dark
doesn't.
Knight Rises.
He's not doing anything.
He's busy.
Yeah.
He's busy.
I mean, I would definitely like to get a photo op with.
Well, then
with
Christopher Eccleston too, from
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of hard to get. I guess they could get maybe a couple from the second one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to
They'd
get.
be-
Jeremy Renner was in the second one.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was a soldier.
It'd be so cool to get a poster of that autograph
Mm-hmm.
with all their shit on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do something at some time like that.
I think he would.
Yeah. Eventually, his day's coming. He'll be boring one.
Yeah.
Here soon. So what did you watch?
So I did watch Ken, which I think is a solid movie. I did watch a movie on Hulu, which you've watched as well, Fresh with Sebastian Stan.
Oh yeah, Fresh was good.
So definitely check that out. It's on Hulu.
Fresh was okay.
It was enjoyable.
It was good.
There's a dancing scene that's pretty fucking funny.
Well, you know my problem with
music
Fresh
in
is
it was
The music
good.
is great. Yeah.
I couldn't figure out if it was supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very dark comedy.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan was really good at it.
Yeah.
If there was more of that, I'd like the movie better. But it does this little dance between like a thriller and a black comedy. If it had leaned more heavy into the comedy, I think I'd have liked it quite a bit more.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's well made and it looks good and it's directed well.
Well,
and the actors are all great.
I've mentioned this too because when you watch it, you get that feel like this is a Hulu movie because you get that same way as certain Netflix, like, that's a Netflix movie. You just get that vibe from it. I would say that, and then also I checked
the date she goes on at the beginning with like the hipster dude.
Oh,
with the scarf.
that was the funniest
I was
thing.
laughing through the whole thing.
Good. Anyway, you're a stuck-up fucking bitch.
I didn't.
She's like,
I didn't
okay.
really want to hang out with you again. I was just being nice.
Yeah.
Does she speak English? I think she's not understanding why I'm asking her.
I have to
Sparkling
go.
water with bubbles.
I have to go right now. I'm gonna have sex with this person. See you later.
See you later. And then also I did check out Moon Knight. So I've been watching Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is fucking good.
Dude, Oscar Isaac is fucking phenomenal.
By the time the next episode's on, we should be at the finale, I think. So
It's only 6 episodes.
six
isn't it?
6 night event.
I don't understand. And it has a good cast. Ethan Hawke's in it, which Ethan Hawke, it's nice seeing him getting work because I really do enjoy Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke's always out there doing something.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's really about it. So I got some more stuff to watch.
What about you, Hot Sauce?
I haven't watched shit really. I really
Besides
haven't
the
been watching too much.
Besides the
Anything.
Tony Hawk documentary.
Moon Knight, the Tony Hawk documentary.
How good is what's his face in Moon Knight?
Who?
The main
Oscar
guy.
Isaac.
Oscar
yeah,
Isaac.
it's great. I fucking love it. Yeah, he's awesome.
Seeing him switch characters back and forth is so fucking impressive.
There, and it's so funny because there's a scene, there's a fight scene and this guy licks the knife. It's like, all these movies, he licks it and then Oscar actually like punches him like 4 times straight in the face. And it's just like so fucking funny. I couldn't stop laughing.
So anything your way?
Yeah. I watched some stuff this week.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we go.
Here comes the pre-marathon.
Right.
Like I said, Tony Hawk was good. Night House really good. I finally got around to watching Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho.
Because I know you've been, I know you've
yeah.
been wanting to watch that.
We
Yeah.
kind of snubbed them with the Sleazies this year.
You know, it's an Edgar Wright movie. It's good. It's well made. There's a little bit of some issues with it, but I mean, it looks great.
It looks like it
Soundtrack's
could
great.
be long.
It was up there. It wasn't over 2 hours, but it was
Okay.
close. And it was really well made. I know some people didn't like that as much as they like some of his other movies, but I thought it was pretty good. Not my favorite, but still pretty good for Edgar Wright. Always good to see him. I got around to watching Death on the Nile.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah,
I
that one.
still need to watch.
I couldn't wait for that fucker to be over.
See, I never watched Murder on the Orient Express, so I didn't know if that would transition to this. But I think it's just the main character.
Well,
so
No.
main character and one of the like sidekick characters.
okay,
Once you've seen one of these murder mysteries, like they're just kind of
It starts out really slow.
Yeah.
Even I've seen the 73 or whatever version, and it starts out really slow. Once it kind of gets going, it's good. But like there's a scene at the beginning, like a whole dance number. This movie is very horny, like more than you'd expect. Like Armie Hammer and Gal Gadot are just on each other.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Gal Gadot's in it.
and
right?
and not I don't blame him, but it is just very horny early on.
I'm surprised.
Well, and
he's,
I was kind of surprised by that.
I was watching that and I was like, is that Armie Hammer? Because like
Is he
he's
still
still got
getting
that
roles?
voice, you know. And I'm like thinking, like, wow, he's still getting work.
Well, that was a big thing because the movie's actually like 2 years old now or something,
Yeah.
and all those allegations came
yeah,
out.
him being a cannibal and shit and
Cannibal
eating
or
flesh.
something.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
I hadn't heard
oh,
that
oh
one.
yeah, like
oh yeah, it was
yeah,
a big.
yeah, like he's
Wow.
like biting people, like his sexual interest, like he's biting them and like wants to eat their flesh and blood, and they're like,
He should date
No.
Amber Heard.
I know.
But yeah, it was okay. It starts out kind of slow, but once it gets going and all that, I liked it.
Okay.
Finally got around to watching the original Purge.
Great movie.
That was
Yeah.
it was really fun.
and
It's
they're
a
all
solid
good.
fucking movie,
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
nice. It's sort of I like that there was stuff to build on.
Yeah.
Where they kind of like you hear all the stuff on the side, like, oh, that'd be interesting to delve into later. But they keep it on the story and on
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke and his family. I didn't realize that Lena Headey played the mom in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was really good.
I've never watched the first one.
Oh, they're all good, man.
I've
Yeah,
seen-
I haven't seen the third one, which is the prequel,
I've
and then I
jumped
didn't see
around
the
a
very
little
last
bit.
one, the Forever Purge.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last two.
Yeah. Jumped around a little bit in there. I rewatched. I hadn't seen this in a long time. It was on Paramount Plus, so I sat down and watched the first Jackass movie. Because I want to watch the new one.
I watched.
I watched the new one.
one's solid.
Yeah. But I kind of want to. I know I've seen like the first one and maybe the second one.
I still remember going and seeing that in movie theaters
I think I
right
saw
when
it
it
this
came
time.
out. Yeah.
So I'm gonna run through those and then I'll get up to the new one. But I like that. Still-
Paramount Plus, baby.
It was fun. It was almost like a late '90s time capsule. Like
Yeah.
they're doing shit in like a convenience store that still sells VHS tapes on the sidewall and everything. So that was really kind of like a nostalgia hit for me. One of the big ones for me that I watched is because our boy Bruce is retiring or retired. I watched The Last Boy Scout with him and Damon Wayans.
I used to love that movie. I haven't seen it forever, but it's on Netflix, right?
They always it's on. I think it's on. Actually, I ended up buying it on Blu-ray. So because I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. You might have to.
I think it's
might have to
Netflix.
rent
It's
it.
Netflix.
Could be Netflix.
Yeah, because I have it saved because I just realized I was like, oh shit, it's The Last Boy Scout. Because I
Well, you
remember I
could
used
get
to
on
love
there
it.
right now and fucking verify it.
No, it's on there.
Verify it right now.
Tell him it's on there, Rob, and then shove your
It's on
phone in
there.
his face like it's fucking on there.
Don't just say that it's on there. We need to be on our shit here.
And this movie I always liked it, but it's just really good. It's Tony Scott. This had to be around his Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Beverly Hills
Yeah.
Cop 2 period. I mean, Bruce Willis, like it reminded me that he played so well, like that guy who kind of hates himself.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like still good at being himself, Damon Wayans is funny in it. And it's just so well directed and everything. I really had a good time watching that.
Is that the one where it opens up somebody shooting somebody in the
On the
football
football
game?
field,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember that.
Once as I was watching, I'd be like, okay. Because it's one of those ones that they used to play on, TBS or something.
Have you found that yet? I mean, we
It's
don't
not
have.
on Netflix.
It was on Netflix.
Oh
but
no, this title.
It's not.
current-
It's not on Netflix.
it's
It
not
was
on.
Netflix.
See what you get for just assuming shit.
It wasn't.
I saved it. It's on there. I saved it.
He did save it.
I did save it.
But
It's
yeah,
gone now, bitch.
I think because I ended up going on Amazon, and it's a 2-pack with Last Boy Scout and Last Man Standing, Bruce Willis double feature, and that is like
Is that like the
$15
40s
less.
style movie?
Yeah,
It's gangster. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a
it's
long
based
time.
off of it's a Yojimbo remake where he goes into town.
Oh,
and he
okay.
has the gangster clans turn against each other because he's going to help them out or whatever. Watched Fresh. Watched a movie called Raw.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's actually from the same.
Did you leave the house at all?
No,
No.
I was, on vacation. I was catching up on some.
That was a
movies.
quick no.
And from the same woman who directed Titane, which is pretty crazy.
Wow, I've heard about that too.
You should watch the first 30 minutes of Titane. If you don't want to watch anything else after that, I understand, but you should watch the first 30 minutes.
I've heard. Wow.
And that will let you know.
You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Watch the first 30 minutes of it.
Maybe don't watch it with like anybody else around who might not be into weird movies, because the first 30 minutes is pretty out there.
All right.
And Raw was a little more subdued. It's about like a girl who goes off to be a veterinarian school, and she's a
vegan, right?
Yeah, she's a vegan. Her parents are like militantly vegan, but there's some ritual where they have to eat raw meat to get into school, and she eats raw meat.
It's like a hazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
hazing. Yeah,
and she kind of acquires a taste for it.
Ooh,
and it's out there too.
It sounds nasty.
Yeah, it's I didn't love it. Wasn't great, but it was worth the watch.
You'll watch it again, won't you?
I probably, well, maybe at some point. It's not
maybe a Halloween rotation.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not very Halloweeny vibes.
Yeah, I know.
It's another one that's sort of kind of elevated horror, a little twist at the end. It's definitely worth the watch if you catch it streaming somewhere. But I don't know if it's one I'll, much like Titane. I don't think I'll be watching Titane anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was most of it.
All right. I forgot.
No. Hold on. I'm going to cut you off. Okay. Not most of it. Give us the rest, motherfucker. Tell these people what you fucking watch. Give them the 1842 noir classics that are in fucking black and white with no fucking
noir classics.
We need to know.
All right,
give it to them.
I got a few
That's almost it. Give them the other 37 movies that were on fucking silver film. Yeah.
If you did this, it would be fucking 2-hour show.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'll go through real quick. So I watched Lilies of the Field.
What year is it?
1960 something.
Okay.
Is there one 1942?
63. I don't think it went that early quite. And that's Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier.
And that's where he won his Academy Award. He's like a handyman, and he's making his way, and
we don't need synopsis because nobody else is going to watch him. I just want to hear the film name and the year.
Well, look, that was probably like the highest rated movie I watched all week. I really liked that one for me, and it was under like the 100-minute mark, so I was good with that one.
That's the last part, under the 100.
I watched another movie called Prime Cut. This one's starring Gene Hackman and Lee Marvin.
What's the year?
This one's 1972. Marvin's a gangster from Chicago, so he's got to go down and tell Gene Hackman what's up. But Gene Hackman's like out in Kansas, so he's like a gangster out in Kansas. Crisscross. This is probably the oldest one. This was 1949.
49, folks.
Christ, dude.
49. He willingly put on a movie to watch from 1949.
And he had a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoyed it. Ecstatic.
He said 1949. I instantly got depressed.
That was Burt Lancaster's armored car driver, and he gets mixed up with some bad guys.
Kyle was like, I can smell post-depression from this.
That's it. I think that's it.
Gotta love him, man. I love him.
I know.
It's all in good here.
Just in case you're wondering, my highest rated decades on my letterbox is the 80s, the 50s, and the 70s.
Actually,
50s. Why the fuck is that even an option?
Oh, come on. You got A Christmas Carol, The Man Who Knew Too Much, Facing the Crowd, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wages of Fear, Bad Day at Black Rock, Night of the Hunter. These are all like 5 stars.
These are all like 5 stars.
Oh, yeah, these are some good stuff in the 50s.
Kyle's like, I'm a 5-star man.
My earliest film on here,
deal with
1919.
Oh my God.
If I can pull it up on here.
His phone's gonna explode going that far back.
So while he's looking that up, the one movie I forgot to mention I did watch was Wrath of Man on Paramount Plus with Jason Statham.
Was it Jason Statham?
So nice to see a Jason Statham movie.
Wasn't
again.
that filmed in Columbus, or was that the
Was
other?
it?
That was John Travolta Wrath.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
There's certain parts you're like, man, that's fucking Parsons.
Hey, this was a good movie though. It had
Yeah.
old dude from Mindhunters in it,
Okay.
with the voice.
Yeah.
The older FBI guy.
Yeah. Well, he was in Nightmare Alley as well.
Yeah.
He was like the bodyguard for the rich guy.
He was good in it, man. It was good, man. It was about armored trucks getting robbed, but I mean, it's a Jason Statham movie.
I still love Homefront.
He shoots people in the head and fucking beats their ass. I was happy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find that yet?
Yes, it was a movie called Behind the Door from 1919, 70 minutes.
Behind.
Oh, that's fucking killer right there, ain't it? 70
That was
minutes.
actually pretty good. There's it's about it's like a German U-boat captain, or he's a boat captain, and he finds the guy who like killed his wife or something. And there's a great scene where he finds the guy and he throws him in a closet. He basically cuts him up.
Oh Jesus!
Oh wow.
And like there's this great scene where he's going to open the door to show the people what he did.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's
it's really,
terrible.
Really suspenseful for a 100-year-old movie.
All right. Well, with that is episode 130 of the Sleazy Podcast. We're like way over our normal time.
Sorry, I had to do that. Well, I wasn't going to let him get off the hook without bringing all that shit
I
up.
know.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's why we love Mr. PBS.
We need to hold him accountable, like he doesn't just watch what we watch. So, but that's our episode, ladies and gentlemen. My call to action, as always, get one person to listen to the show, and from there we'll get them to get somebody to listen to the show. It'll just kind of trickle down listening is what we like to call it, except it's not trickle down economics. This one kind of works, but
That's funny.
yeah. We should be back in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So with that being said, keep it sleazy, and we're out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.